At this point, we need to create the stopwatches for these two text positions because now they might need to be moved. So let's move forward. Now we're going to go to text 1. Let's go to that particular time in the timeline. First, of course, create keyframes for each of these. The same as here. Create keyframes for each of those. Source text and the range selector, of course. And then, one step forward. Change opacities here to 72%. And of course, the scaling here to, let's see, what did it used to be here? Let's see. It's 97.3. Okay, so we're going to enter there. 97.3. There we go. And the range selector, of course, set it to 100. Okay. The text here can go like tracking. Okay, because it's busy, of course, looking for the object to track, so it goes like that. Of course, you can see, of course, the text takes a bit too long to update, so we're going to move these keys here closer, like that. Yeah, okay. Just confirm this, of course. You see that, eh? Great, okay, because it's busy tracking at that point. Of course, we go to text 2 as well. One step forward. Opacity 72%. Turn off that. Scaling 97.3. Great. And then range selector, set it to 100. Source text, well, acquiring target. Okay. And then also its scale has to come down, of course, to fit where it's supposed to be. Again, we have to move these keyframes. They are very close to each other. Might even move them like that. Okay. They appear too soon. It seems our text hasn't been updated. Must have been my mistake. Just move that key. Yeah, there we go. Just move that key to the front like that. And then while they are there, move these keys here, overlapping them almost. But of course, whatever text comes out of there is a good text. Range selector, well, just put it up. And the scaling, let's see, 130%. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Source text, just delete that. Yeah, acquiring target dot, acquiring targets dot. Okay, great. Delete that key and of course move that to replace it. Okay, great. Okay, main composition. You can see, of course, everything has been updated nicely, and when we play this back, you'll see, of course, they come a bit too late, so it has to come right there. Okay, and so we have to do the following. Move these keys here, there. Go to text 1 and move all those keys, of course, right there. Go to text 2, of course, also move those keys right there. Okay, main comp, so when it comes and settles there, great. See, there's no time wasted there. Okay, perhaps when you play it back, you notice that perhaps they appear a bit too soon. You see, and too quickly. So, of course, that means we just have to spread out the keyframes here. That keyframes can be spread a bit more like that, and of course that one even further. Okay, so that it comes in smoothly. Okay. Text 2, the same thing needs to happen, of course. The opacity, sorry, not the opacity. Opacity can say where it is. The scaling can be spread a bit out, and the start, of course, further out. Okay. So again, here, this was the mistake I made. Yeah, just move that like that. Okay. Main comp. I think my time is a bit too offset. I want to bring this there and that there. While for the second one, I'll spread them further out like that and like that. Okay. Again, my timing is incorrect. This guy here must follow behind. So here's what I need to do on my side. I'm going to simply move them, of course, further out like that. Okay. This is what we have now. Aha, nice, eh? Okay, beautiful. Tracking, acquiring target, beautiful. And then once it has settled here, now we're going to again play with the position of the text. This time I'm only going to play with one text position and one text opacity. Okay. Let's move that a bit out of the way like okay, it's fine. Let's stay where we are right now. Let's just see. Yeah, we're at the right place at the right time. So here we're going to select text 02. Check the opacity there. At this point it must have disappeared. So we're simply going to reduce its opacity to 0 and press F9, of course, to smooth things out. It should disappear when this object here is being wiped out at this point here. See that? So select the keys, delete, go to text 2, create keyframes for all those stopwatches. And move them to the side because, of course, now we're going to change the scaling on the x-axis here to 0 and the text itself, the range selector, set it to 0. Okay. Back to the main comp. Yeah, there we go. So at this point, of course, as you can see, it disappears with what you've got there. Okay. That means, of course, let's just see, that was text 2. So it has to disappear at that time. Okay. Go to text 1. And here too, of course, you have to play around with its settings. Click on all those stopwatches and move them inside, of course. Sorry. Yeah, select those and yeah, move them inside. And of course, start by scaling that to 0 and the text range selector, of course, also to 0. Click on the stopwatch there for the text itself. Again, check. So we have tracking there, acquiring targets. Tracking goes along with acquiring target, and then of course when this object there lands, yeah, that's when we go back. It looks like, of course, we don't need a keyframe for the opacity, so we go back here, range selector, set it back to 100, scaling for this, set it back to 100, 97.3. okay, opacity as well. Click on the stopwatch there for the source text as well. Now, of course, that means in between here, nothing should have been visible. So, of course, that means here, check the start to 0, scaling to 0. Okay. opacity as well to, okay, that was 72. That must be, of course, 0. Okay. And here too, enter the 0. Okay. Great. So nothing should appear until, of course, the return of things. Great. And then we're going to enter the any title, coming soon. And I believe we also need to press shift, coming soon. I'm simply trying to increase the scaling here of the object. Press S or press U and then press shift S. Yeah, okay. Move this key there, of course, down, and of course, yeah, just make it a bit bigger. Okay, perfect. And that means, of course, at this point here, something has to be adjusted, obviously. It has to be saying coming soon already from there. And the range selector must take its time a bit. Like that. Great, okay. Main comp, coming soon. Okay. You just see how the things look like here. They get cut off, back to text 1, and of course, stretch out these layers till the end of time. So they don't get cut off. Back to main comp. Okay, perfect. Let's just confirm as to, with regards to the timing. So this will come, it lands at this frame here, that frame. Okay, so nothing should happen until then. That means, of course, you have to move these keyframes of ours forward, of course. Main comp. Good. And of course its position is very important. Yeah, let's move it there. Edit, undo. That means, of course, we have to zoom in here to sort out its position. There's the key. Okay. Yeah, great. Okay. Great. Okay. All right. And then I have a problem with the rotation of the target rotator. Okay. So here's what we need to do. In the beginning, I'm going to delete that keyframe it had. Leave the rotation at 0. Remember, it begins to appear, right? So as it's coming, turn on a keyframe there for the rotation. And set another key there for the rotation again. Now in between them, make it spin like that. How about 360 degrees? Okay. Great. So it's going to spin as it's coming. It spins, settles down. Or perhaps we actually have to make it spin earlier on. Remember, it comes from the side. Yeah, let's make it spin at this point here. Okay. So it spins. Perhaps it's spinning too much, I believe. Let's just confirm. Yeah, I believe it's spinning too much. Let's see, let's address this issue. This is the spinning that it's doing. Change the revolutions to 0. Degrees, change it to 180. Okay. Now that doesn't seem to help. revolutions 1, degrees 0. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And of course these keys have to be much closer to each other. Okay. Even closer than that. Okay. Select all those keys, go to edit, copy, and then of course edit, paste. Yeah, because it has to spin again. But this time, let's see. We're going to delete that key there. Move those more to the side, because it has to happen before it settles for the last time. Okay. I'm not getting something here. Okay, it starts. Oh, the keys are too close. Okay, just spray them a bit apart. But of course the little object here has enough time to play. So it spins, come to a standstill, and then of course it has to spin again. Okay. When I play this back now, you see it spins and then it spins again. Okay, that's what we wanted. Okay, perfect. So it looks like we are almost at the end now, guys. One more thing is, or rather could be, the color corrector here. Let's do the following. We are going to set, let's see, before it actually gets to here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to, okay, let's try and play around with the histogram here to adjust it a bit, you know, just to see what results we might get. Yeah, that's more like what we're looking for. Okay, that basically darkens the area up instead of brightening it too much. Of course, if you brighten it, of course, we'll have a big difficulty seeing what you're doing. And then of course after doing that, we are going then to move this keyframe here closer, delete that, of course replace it with that. Okay, so things will change from here to this. Okay, great. Okay, and then the other thing that has to happen is the ring animations. Remember in the beginning they started all big. Okay, so you see the way they are animated and they rotate. Okay, so we're going to copy them, those keyframes, edit, copy, move forward in the timeline. Especially around here. We're going to select these keyframes here, go to edit, clear, and then let's move around here before we zoom in. Yeah, somewhere here. Go to edit, paste. Sorry, undo. I keep forgetting we have to paste individual layers, you know. So in other words, again, select those keyframes, edit, copy, or rather, before we actually do that, create keyframes for them at this point. Okay, yeah, and then move a bit forward. Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah, now we're going to select the keyframes there, edit, copy, and then we select edit, paste. Of course, it's up to us to determine the stretch in time between these two. So you can see, of course, where it starts from. That's a primary ring, by the way, of course. So it started there. And then we are going to select the secondary ring. Select those keyframes. edit, copy, and of course edit, paste. Alright. So basically every time we zoom into something, you see that? Great, huh? Okay. And of course that means these keys here, let's play them apart. Okay. Why are we getting, oh, the tracking, huh? That's for text 1. Yeah, its position is being moved. Select the position and then we go to edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay, so that its position of course remains where it is. Perfect. Okay. Great. Okay. So remember what we've done so far. In the beginning we zoom like that. Okay. We show the people the title. And then we get in here. We zoom in. And then of course somewhere here something of course has to happen. Let's move on because we need one final animation, and for that let's move the keyframes here for the primary and the secondary ring a bit outwards, but of course they keep spinning. Move them like that. Okay, so they're still spinning until of course that one comes into play. Move them like that, and then of course you have to select the keyframe starting with these ones, of course edit, copy, and we'll go to edit, paste. The same goes for that, of course. Select those keyframes, edit, copy, and edit, paste. That way, of course, we don't have to worry about whether they are correct or not because we've tried them before, remember? So basically this is what happens. The beginning of the animation, we zoom out and we zoom in. And then we get there, we focus on that region to get our target. It's looking good, I must say. And then finally when it settles down, of course. Okay. Okay. And perhaps here, again, remember the key is always to move these keys here out of the way. Okay. But of course we have the time to show other things. As you can see, of course, our animation seems to end at 20 seconds. Let's see what we've done so far. Yeah, and so here's what we've got so far. Animation start. Looking nice. Looking very nice, I must say. Great, eh? See that, eh? Nice. Okay. Isn't this beautiful, eh? Now I've noticed something. Our grid tends to disappear. Where's the grid? So we have to adjust our grid's position. Where are you, grid? My bad. It's sitting at the very top of everything there. Let's move it so that it's only above the adjustment layers. Okay. And then the other thing, of course, is to stretch its length to the end. Like that. Okay. Perfect. And also, the following has to happen. Remember, when we start the animation, our little square is nicely animated, you know, the way it comes to life. So we need its animation. We're going to select its keyframes there. For the opacity, go to edit, copy, and then let's move on. to this region here. First create, of course, is keyframe, and then we go to edit, paste. Okay. Okay. You can see what we are doing there. Great. Okay. And then around the same time, of course, the lock on has to appear as well. So select that. The keyframes, go to edit, copy, then of course edit, paste. The keyframes, again, they have to follow it a bit behind. And of course, while we are here, select that keyframe, go to edit, copy, and then edit, paste. Yeah, so that it keeps itself. And then move that key there, and then again edit, paste. Okay. So of course it keeps its properties as they are. You see that, eh? So next thing you know, when we go to such a region over there, in fact, it looks like these keys have to be moved somewhere there. If they can't be moved, they have to be made to happen a bit faster. See that, eh? And then of course, lastly, again, let's create keys there. Move forward. As you can see, of course, let's see, where does it settle? There. Okay. So select those keys, edit, copy, edit, paste. Move that key closer. Select those, edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay. And again, of course, a bit forward in time like that. It just passes to life, you know, like that. Okay. So it doesn't look dull and so forth. It's pulsating. Okay. And it looks like also the coming soon text, and let's just see its timing. Okay, I just want to see whether it can be adjusted. Okay, yeah, let's adjust the coming soon text layer, but first let's just confirm one thing. Okay, here's what we have so far. We spin that and that comes to settle in. Okay, it looks like then looks like really that our target tracker really needs to settle in a bit later on. Okay, so we're going to move the keyframes of the target tracker and the lock on rotator. In fact, just move them like that. Okay, forward in the timeline. Perfect. But of course, they come in. Yeah, okay, like that. Okay, great. Okay, and then coming soon as well, we have to adjust it. It's text 01, of course. Yeah, so here we are going to move it a bit out of the way. The start can be adjusted by being dragged a bit wider, and the scale, of course. Move it closer. Yeah, it should really come just after everything has settled. Okay, I believe that's actually correct. And let's see, I think we might just need to move them a bit further apart. However, that means let's just select these, move them like that, select these two keyframes and spread them a bit further apart. Okay, And also these keys here are a bit too close to each other. Sorry. Yeah, these keys here have to be sprayed up a bit more. Okay. Yeah, now this is looking much better. See the circles come in. Yeah, it spins. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's much better than what we had before. Okay. And then another thing might be when we are here, okay, which map is the last one to be loading? I believe it's this one. Press S, click on the stopwatch for the scaling, and let's just see. From the moment it first appears, where is that? Yeah, from this moment here. Yeah, let's put a keyframe there. To the moment, of course, where the scene finally concludes. Here's what you need to do. You're going to be slowly zooming into it, okay? Press F9, of course, for that to be a smooth key, okay? So that, of course, our map is not just static, okay? Because that's the last thing we want. All right. And then let's see. So that's how we start. And of course, around these regions here, you can be manipulating. Yeah, so let's see which ones are those. It's arrow A and B. Yeah, okay. So while we are here, create stopwatch positions, of course, for the positions. And then, of course, while they zoom in, that's when you know you can begin to pull them up or down. Sorry. Yeah, you can begin to pull them up or down. Create stopwatches. And here, of course, we get out of the end line. And of course, here we can adjust them further. You know. Okay. Just gently dragging them. Okay. And then what else? Okay. Yeah. While we are also in the beginning here, the Earth's map. Click on the stopwatch there for the scale. And let's see, move it a bit forward. Yeah, we'll start, of course, by zooming out slowly. So you start like that, you know, just gentle movement, as you can see us doing here. Okay, see how gentle they are. And I believe even here, yeah, up, yeah, there, just push it a bit higher, you know, gently. Okay, so that at no point almost do we get to stand still with our camera animation. Again, this adds really to the fluidity of the scene. Again, gentle. And I wonder which map is this at this point. Oh, it's this one here. Okay. Put the keyframe there for the scaling there, and then of course zoom into it slowly. And move it out like that. So it really adds to the dynamism of the scene. Huh? Okay. Because they are very subtle movements. Okay, let's see what we've done so far. From what I can tell, it's really looking quite brilliant. You know, we've done quite a big job. Congratulations to us. This is quite astonishing. So yeah, as animation plays, you know, you can see where you may want to add or reduce some things, you know, but I'm really pleased with all the results. Oh yeah. Okay, great. For instance, I think I've decided that this spinning is a bit too much. The spinning of the ring there. So I'm going to delete the previous keyframe that I had. No, not this. Let me see. Is it the lock on? No. No, it's the lock on rotator. Okay. I'm going to select its previous keyframes and wipe them out. So that of course I just want one spinning at the end. Okay. So I'm going to delete even the key that was before it. Let's just see what happens. So to start from nothing and then spin. Oh, it's spinning the wrong way. Okay, I have to swap them around. So to spin from around there and spin and come to an end. Okay, and I'm just spreading the gap. Okay. And of course, remember you can always turn on or off any of these settings at any one time. Yeah, okay, you see? Green might look better for you, you know. And the target tracker seems to be really too quietened down with that blue. Okay, it's really not doing it well. If we went to effect, generate, or rather perspective, drop shadow, I don't think it adds much impact. Increase the opacity. What about the distance? Yeah, the distance is helping it just a bit. Yeah, I've added some opacity there for mine. Yeah, it seems to do something, of course, additional to it. Yeah, other than just letting it on its own the way it was. Okay. Okay. But besides that, everything else is fine, you know. Well done to us. We've come to a brilliant conclusion of this amazing tutorial. Thank you so much for having joined me. My name is Henry the Jedi. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, keep checking the tutorials. Yeah, by the way, we have a brand new training DVD for those of you guys out there who do 3D designs. It's called the 722, in which of course you learn how to design a very highly detailed model of the legendary McLaren Mercedes SLR 722 edition. Okay, there are only 150 of these cars ever made in the world, and now of course is your chance to design one for yourself. So yeah, please keep supporting us, guys. It's only through your support that I can keep on bringing such content for you guys to enjoy. So thank you so much for having joined us today. My name is Henrythejedi, and yeah, until next time, goodbye. We do believe. Oh yeah.